Okay, Chapter 2, Lesson 1, Writing Equations. Last chapter we wrote algebraic expressions. In this chapter we will focus on algebraic equations. So what is the main difference between expressions and equations? Is equations have an equal sign. So in these ones we'll actually be able to solve after we write the equations. Some phrases that imply equal are is, we already talked about that in chapter 0, is as much as, identical to, and is the same as. So if we see those words, those are ones, or those phrases, those are ones that we are going to know tell us that it's going to be an equation because it's going to have an equal sign. So the first part here, we're translating each sentence into an equation. So for number 1, it says 53 plus 4 times b is as much as 21. So for number 1, we're going to have 53 plus 4 times b is as much as, which implies equals, 21. Number 2, the sum of 5 times h and twice g is equal to 23. So I know that it's saying sum, so I'm going to put a plus here, and it's the sum of two things. 5 times h goes first, and twice means 2 times, so 2 times g second is equal to 23. Number 3, 1/4 the sum of r and 10 is identical to r minus 4. So in this one, we want 1/4 to be times by the whole sum. So the 1/4 is going to be out front. And because we want to multiply it by the whole sum, we're going to add parentheses here. And the whole sum is r plus 10. Is identical to is equals r minus 4. So remember, if we have a number first and then the words the sum of, that's when it calls for parentheses. So you can write that in your notes if you want. Number 4, 3 plus the sum of the squares of w and x. So we have a lot going on here. So we have 3 plus first, and then we have the squares of w, so w squared, and summed with x squared is 32, so equals 32. Translate each sentence into a formula. Degrees Kelvin, and we're going to let it be K, equals, so I'm putting equals behind it, 273 plus degrees Celsius, which they said put that as C. So I have K equals 273 plus C. Number 6, the total cost of gas, so they want me to put C, is, so equals, the price P per gallon, so I'm going to put P, then it says times the number of gallons, and they said put that as G. So I have C equals P times G. Number 7, the sum S, so I'm going to put down S, of the measures of the angles of a polygon is equal to, so far I have S equals 180 times the difference of. So I want the 180 to be times by the whole difference. So I'm going to put a parenthesis with a minus. And the difference is a number of sides, which they want to be n, and 2. So I have S equals 180 parenthesis n minus 2. Okay, so now on this side, we're going the opposite way. So they're giving us the equation, and we have to write the sentence. So for number 8, I would say R minus the sum of 4 and P is the same as 1/3 times R. Again, there's a bunch of different ways to write these. This is just like the general one that I have. Number 9, I say 3/5 multiplied by t plus 2 is t. Number 10, a way I could write it is 9 times the sum of, that will give me the parentheses, y squared added to x is the same as 18. Or again, you can write just about anything. Number 11, I need the parentheses again, so I'll say 2 times the difference of m and n is x plus 7. Okay, then word problems. About 15% of all federally owned land in the 48 contiguous United States of the United States is in Nevada. Let F represent the area of federally owned land in these states, and let N represent the portion in Nevada. Write an equation for this situation. So we go back to the top and it says 15% of the federally owned land. We can't put percents in our calculator, so remember we need to change that back to 0.15. Then it says of, which I know means times. And it says the federally owned land. And if I read down here, it says let that be F. And then it says is Nevada, so equals N. Deanna and Petra each go for walks around a lake a few times per week. Last week, Deanna walked 7 miles more than Petra. If P represents the number of miles Petra walked, write an equation that represents the total number of miles T the two girls walked. So total T, they want me to write equals. P is the number of miles Petra walked, so I write P plus. And now I have to read back up here where it says that Deanna did 7 miles more than Petra. So in order to write Deanna, I'd have to write Petra plus 7, because remember, more than goes at the end. So then what I would also do for this one is I would simplify it. Or maybe not. Let's see what the next question says, because that might tell us to simplify it then. Let's see what the next question says. If Petra walked 9 miles during the week, how many miles did Deanna walk? Okay, no, it doesn't. But if we know that Petra walked 9 and we know that Deanna walked that many plus 7, that would give me 16 miles. If Petra walked 11 miles during the week, how many miles did the two girls walk together? So for the total, I would do 11 plus 7. And that would give me 28. Nope, 29. 11 plus 11 is 22, plus 7 is 29. And there's your concept checked.